had many refrigerators over the years, but I find that when you open these up, the cold air stays in them better. There's more room inside them, and they're good units. Samsung, we have a lot of Samsung products. This one here and some of the other series may be bothered by a problem where you have no cold. And just was told the other day here that this one stopped working. We've had it 6 years. First thing we want to do is take the back of the unit off. We're going to go around the back of the unit, and we're going to give you a quick education on how to service your own refrigerator for hardly anything when you have a problem. They have the wiring diagram on the back of the unit, and what you want to do is take a photograph of it and print it out so you can see what's going on. These are pretty simple units. Hermetically sealed, of course, the old type compressors. And let me get down here a little bit and try to. All these are operated today on a circuit board. Most all of the units, you may see a popsicle stick sticking down here. I'll explain that. This is how I'm keeping this unit running. These circuit boards control the entire operation of the refrigerators today. They operate the ice maker, the lights, the door switches, the heating. There's heaters in here that defrost the unit. Everything goes to the microprocessor on here. And there's a cover on it right here. And I've taken this off. It slides right over here in this compartment right over here. This is your ice maker solenoid valve, and back down in here is your condenser cooler. It used to be up here on the entire back of the refrigerators years ago, this wire mesh, but now it's down here. There's a fan in here. I'm going to put my finger in it here. You see that running? That has to be running all the time the compressor is on. If that stops, it will overheat, and it'll probably trip a overheat device on the compressor. The easiest thing to look for when this unit, make sure this is running. Take your back off once a year also, and clean all this with a vacuum cleaner if you don't. What happened on this unit here, there's a relay in there called K12. Now this circuit board is used on many of the Samsung refrigerators, and what happens, it carries all the amperage and the voltage to run this compressor. If this thing pits up, there are little points in there, it will not turn the compressor on. So you call the service man, and he comes out for probably $100 and sells the board for maybe $200. And this board is replaceable, as you can see, by plugs. And the board sells for about $50. So you can get your refrigerator going for about $50. I've taken a Dremel, a simple Dremel tool here. I'll show you here. You turn it on, and you can probably hear it running. And what I did was just cut the top of the relay off. This is just an emergency here to keep you going. And whittled a little popsicle stick and stuck it down into the points down there. And that's about it. The capacitor, the run and start capacitors here, that they can go bad, but they're only about a $3 or $4 item, but I have not seen any on refrigerators. On air conditioners outside, they fail quite frequently. Now this fan is very important. I'm not going to turn it on because of the noise. While this is in your service mode, until you get a replacement board, you can still use refrigeration. If you use a fan, set it here, keep it plugged in all the time, because your microprocessor is still going to shut down this blower right here, and if it does, your compressor will overheat because it's not getting cooling. So you keep that on, you can keep your unit running, and until you order a board. There's really no internal fuses on here. There's one built into the little power supply here, but that's about it. You don't need a meter. I have a meter plugged in over here. Sense the temperatures. right here, and this is sitting in the freezer compartment right now, and as you can tell, it's about 2 below zero, so that'll sense your temperatures. I'd also suggest having one of these here little mechanical units. You can buy these for, it's sitting here room temperature now. Keep that inside your refrigerator also. Now the other thing, as I said, this circuit board will control your ice makers and everything. Sometimes you will notice that the readouts on the front of the refrigerator here, this one here is still reading out the correct temperature because everything's working. It's fooling the microprocessor. So everything is running. You can also hit these, and what they will do was give you, it'll actually shut the heating elements off in the refrigerator for you, give you a little additional cooling. So that's a little quick class on how to keep your Samsung running. And I would say this is a very, very common problem. They use this board on many of their units, and I found that out. But if you take a little time, pull it out, your unit stops, you can save yourself about $300 or $400. Compressor failure is pretty rare on refrigerators. They'll last for 10, 15 years, and but mostly it's this like here, and people get discouraged and buy another refrigerator when we really don't have to. So look for my next video. I'm going to